Welcome back to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, attorney and founder of Meldon Law, here serving North Central Florida since 1971, and now we're expanding into South Florida and all over Florida. Actually, a lot of our clients have been referring people from all over the state of Florida to us and helped us grow. We started 7 or 8 years ago, kind of scaling up and building the law firm. And we've grown from 12 folks to 50 on our team. So thank you very much, everybody out there, because you're the one that have helped us and made us grow in a really positive way. At Meldon Law, we really focus in on building a practice that treats people the way we would want to be treated if you were in a serious accident. Whether it's a crash or some other kind of accident, give us a call at Meldon Law 352-373-8000 or go to meldonlaw.com. Some things going on in the community coming up. This one is very cool. At the World Equestrian Center, Saturday, August 16th, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the Outdoor Expo. And if you're an outdoorsman, they have everything. So they have it in an inside area, Expo Center 2. And the reason it's important is because it's so friggin' hot out right now. So August 16th, Saturday from 9 to 4. And if you haven't been out there at the World Equestrian Center, it's like the Disney World for horse people. It's amazing, but it's a lot more. Just like the fact that they have all these great expositions, I call them, like the one coming up. So check them out. In Lake City, they want to break down the barriers between law enforcement and ordinary citizens. So they've decided to have coffee with a cop at Panera Bread in Lake City on Wednesday, August 20th from 8:30 in the morning till 10 a.m. It's family-friendly community event. You can go and meet and greet the Lake City police officers. I think that's a great idea to get everybody to know who is protecting us and serving our community. This is a big one in Gainesville. August 23rd and 24th. That's a Saturday and Sunday at the Alachua County Sports and Events Center in Celebration Point. It's a stone's throw from where Spurrier's Gridiron Grill is, and they are doing the home garden and patio and renovation expo. It's called Our Town Home and Garden Show. I've been there the last couple of years, and it's awesome. Check it out. Lots of vendors from all over North Central Florida come there, and I always find something really interesting to help home, garden, patio, renovations, whatever you need. You go there and you'll get great ideas. Even if you don't use anybody, services that's out there right away, you'll get great ideas. So check them out. It's kind of fun. And another thing is we're doing a big push to get people properly insured. We don't sell insurance. However, we know the heartache when you're an innocent person. Say you're at a stoplight and somebody rear-ends you and you're in the hospital and you've broken bones, you can't walk properly, you can't go back to work, you've got hundreds of thousands of medical bills. No matter what the situation is, we can help you on the road to recovery. And that means both physically, making sure you get the best quality doctors possible, and secondly, making sure that you get financial compensation for having to go through some very life-threatening or life-changing circumstances. So whenever you are in a serious crash or any kind of an accident, please give us a call. Yesterday, we got a $4.5 million verdict in Alachua County for a young man who just went out to socialize at a bar, and the bouncers wound up breaking a beer bottle over his head and taking what was left of the beer bottle and stabbing him. And luckily, he survived and had medical bills and a lot of other things, and we were able to show the jury that he deserves substantial compensation for his injuries. So if you're in any kind of either accident or somebody's attacked you, or you feel like you were injured because somebody else wasn't careful in the way that they fix up their property. So, for example, a typical accident can happen. You go into a business and the business isn't careful about keeping the floors clean, or how they stock merchandise, and you're walking through the aisle and something falls off a shelf because they were careless in the way they stocked it, and you're hit with a big box. That's an accident we would consider. Most of the cases we have involve motor vehicle accidents, some bicycles, motorcycles. Certainly, we do a lot of that. And remember, your protection that you have on your car does not carry over to your motorcycle unless you have a special rider or supplement to your regular auto insurance. Cover that in my book, Buying Florida Auto Insurance. It's free. All you have to do is call the office at 352-373-8000. You can either download it on our website, meldonlaw.com, or call us and we'll just, it's free, and we'll send it to you at your home in a hard copy format, and it will protect you and your family. Very, very important. One of my big initiatives for the fall coming up is to make sure that everybody in town knows how to buy affordable auto insurance that protects you and your family, because it's heartbreaking. We get so many calls, and probably 30 or 40% of the time there's no insurance, or if there is insurance, it's $10,000, and the value of the cases are sometimes in the millions. So you really need to make sure you protect yourself and your family. So that's what's going on. The Gators are coming back in action in just a few weeks, so support Gator football, basketball, all of the sports that are happening. Volleyball's starting, and we give away lots of tickets for the games. All you have to do is go to the Meldon Law Facebook page. So just go to Facebook, put in Meldon Law, you'll see it. Every single week now we're going to be having contests and giveaways, and we have lots of tickets for all the sporting events because we're the only official injury law firm partner of the Florida Gators, and part of our deal is to get a bunch of tickets, and we in turn give those tickets away to the members of the community. So check us out. We have been serving North Central Florida for over 55 years, and we love helping clients.
Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Well, I'm joining the band, of course. Since Meldon Law is the official law firm partner of the Florida Gators, I want to help.
Dad, we're litigators. Let's stick to helping people in the courtroom.
Well, can we still hang out and jam a little bit? At Meldon Law, we won't back down.
I was going down a one-way street and a girl that was driving her car T-boned me on my scooter. I ended up going for an MRI and discovering that I had 2 herniated discs. Coming to Carey allowed me to not have to worry about what doctor I was going to see or what physical therapist I had to go to. They say, these are the people we trust. You're going to have a great experience there. And I honestly did each time.
Call Meldon Law. Your consultation is absolutely free.
And I was in an accident. Someone ran a red light and hit me, and I was hurt. You don't know where to turn. Luckily, I called Jeffrey. These big insurance companies, they don't want you to win. They truly don't. But Jeffrey and his firm and the people that work here, they just really fight for you. You call the law offices of Jeffrey Meldon because you're going to need help, and they will help you.
Call Meldon Law right now.
Hey, Sammy, look who's there. Say hi.
Hey!
You again.
Meldon Law, Jeffrey speaking.
Somebody else hit us.
Here we go again. Welcome to Meldon Law and Friends. I'm Jeffrey Meldon, attorney and founder at Meldon Law. I've been practicing in North Central Florida since 1971, and I'm very proud of our law firm. My son, Carey Meldon, is the managing partner for Meldon Law. And my daughter, Jessica Meldon, joined us in the early part of 2025. She's been an attorney for 16 years, lives in Miami, and has decided to move from what she was doing into the Meldon Law Firm. And it's very exciting to have her. Whatever your needs are as far as an attorney, to help you in the event of a serious accident, please give us a call. We service clients all over the state of Florida. We have offices in Gainesville, Lake City, Ocala, Williston. We're getting ready to open up in the Villages, and we have existing offices in Fort Lauderdale and also the Aventura area in North Miami. So we're here. We're handling cases all over the state. As a matter of fact, yesterday we got a $4.5 million jury verdict in Gainesville, and we've got a great trial team, and more importantly, we treat our clients the way that we would want to be treated. So give us a chance. We're completely different than all the big box law firms you see on TV over and over again. I hate those ads. I don't know about you guys, but I think they're crazy. At Meldon Law, we try to be out there in public so people know who we are. I promise you the Ritz-Carlton experience if you come to Meldon Law. You can reach us at 352-373-8000 or go to meldonlaw.com. My guest today is my friend Chris Dekle from Lake City. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate it.
Yeah, this is fun. I'm getting to hear all kind of stuff, new stuff from you and what you're doing. Why don't you tell the viewers and listeners a little bit about your background and how you wound up working with Florida Farm Bureau, which is a great insurance company, by the way. We deal with them all the time, and it's great. You know, they have their big office in Gainesville.
Yes, sir.
And
right down the road.
I love it. We're friends with the adjusters. It's funny. People think like we hate each other, stuff like that. And it's not that way, except if you act like a jerk.
Well, then there's that.
But I mean, a lot of the adjusters, to get out of the office, they'll come over and deliver big settlement checks to the office, and come up and say hello. So we really love Florida Farm Bureau, and they've been great for the North Central Florida
Absolutely.
community as well. So give us a little bit about your background, and we'll move into what you're doing with Florida Farm Bureau.
Well, like we talked about earlier, for the last decade or 2 decades, plus. I've traveled the Southeast calling on paper mills, sawmills, cement plants. As that progressed on, just with a family, children, it was time to get off the road. And my good friend and now manager, Roger, he was my agent for 20 years at Farm Bureau.
What's his name?
Roger Parrish.
Okay.
And matter of fact, he's on his way out. He's got a few months left, and he's retiring.
Okay.
So, but anyway, so he convinced me once he found out that I had my life insurance license to come work for Farm Bureau, and so it's been a fun ride ever since.
Well, good. So let's talk a little bit about life insurance, and for our listeners, right? Some of them just need personal life insurance. Some of our listeners own businesses, and they may need key man life insurance and things like that to protect their business. Why don't you just start with Life Insurance 101 and what kind of life insurances there are?
Well, for the average person, there's two types of insurance. There's your term insurance, and then there's your whole life insurance. Basically, I say term to describe it best is you're leasing life insurance. It's for a period of time, and when that time runs out, it's over. Actually, it doesn't just cancel, but the premiums get very, very high. And then there's whole life. I say for an individual, maybe for younger people especially, it's a way to invest in not only life insurance, but to build cash value in that policy that is protected from our government while it's sitting in there. So it's a good value for a lot of
So
folks.
what you're saying is, it actually you get a return on your investment. You pay $1,000 a year for whole life insurance, and a certain portion of that $1,000 is actually going into what you call cash value. Some people could even think of it as a savings account.
Absolutely, 100%. And that cash value, now you become your own bank. You can borrow against that money. You can pull that money out if you need to. But I see a lot of people go and just borrow a small loan. They need a car, need their air conditioner fixed. They can go borrow from themselves, leave that money in there, and it continues to grow.
Well, the other thing I've done with my whole life policy over the years is, if I was doing good in the office and wanted to, I'd just write a check and pay the annual premium. But if I was short and I needed to, keep making payroll and all that, I could just get my insurance premium paid from my whole life policy.
Absolutely. The cash value will pay the premium, 100%.
Yeah. So that's kind of cool, because after you get about 5 or 10 years into the policy, the cash value builds up, and you can borrow against your cash value from the insurance company. I think I pay 6% now, which is a good rate. In the old days, it was a little high.
That's right.
But, for 6% interest, you borrow the money, and then they pay the premium. And all I know is I've had this same policy for 30 years, and it hadn't cost me a whole lot, and it's built up some decent cash value.
That's the whole purpose of it right there.
So that's really number one. The 101 is consider buying whole life insurance, because it's a good savings mechanism, a good plan, particularly if you're really not super savvy as far as investments. If you're an investment person, you still might use whole life as a vehicle to save money.
As part of the portfolio.
Yeah. So what separates Florida Farm Bureau and their life insurance versus other companies?
Honestly, the people. I mean, the people there, it's a great, great company that it was started by farmers, for farmers. The folks there, their goal is really to help, and that's what they do. They come in, the folks talk, we give them the information and let them make the decision. There's no pushing, there's no false advertising like sometimes you see on TV. Hey, I can get $2 million worth of coverage for $10 a month. Good luck with that.
You know what they're doing? They're selling, term insurance to a 21-year-old.
That's exactly right.
But here's how it works. The older you get, the more it costs. Okay,
That's a
because
fact.
you're getting closer and closer to the Grim Reaper.
That's a fact. 100%.
And the fact is, look, insurance companies really, they know very well what your life expectancy is, and they do their calculations. And insurance companies do really well because they run it as a business and they know what they're doing.
Absolutely.
Now, there's other situations like you said earlier, term insurance. Term insurance is not expensive. I mean, I remember when I was 65 years old, I got $1 million worth of term insurance for $6,000 a year. And that was at age 65. Now, if I was at age 30, it probably would have been, $2,000 or $3,000
Or less.
Yeah. However, I was using it specifically. I think I bought 15-year fixed term at age 65, which, a lot of people, they go, oh my gosh, how can I buy life insurance when I'm older? It's like, well, you can, and you'd be surprised how low
Absolutely.
Particularly as you accumulate assets and you have money, a lot of times you need, if you pass, your family, your survivors need cash. And that's a great use of insurance.
And that's really what it's for. I mean, in the end, it's not for you with a policy, it's for those you leave behind. That's what the life insurance is for. And another aspect that I'll try to let people know is especially young home buyers. They're a young couple. They've just purchased their brand new home. They're $500,000 because they're not cheap anymore. They're
$500,000 is middle of the road.
Middle of the road. That's right. That's right. They've got a couple kids. They've got the home. They got some vehicles. And you just go, hey, well, what happens if the unfortunate were to happen to one of y'all? Can you survive? Can you keep the house? Can you keep the kids in the schools you want them in? Can you stay in this neighborhood? Can you keep your vehicles? And usually, 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. So that's where the insurance comes in. What do you need to at least give you a blank slate and maybe even a year or two of income to let you adjust?
Yeah, absolutely. And, at Meldon Law, we help a lot of people that are in tragic accidents. And you can't predict. You can, be 32 years old and everything's rolling and you're doing great and you got a good family and all of a sudden somebody makes a bonehead move, smashes into you, and you or your spouse are killed.
Exactly.
Okay. What then? And the other person, you're in the state of Florida, so you can't count on the other person having adequate insurance.
Absolutely.
Right? So, you're doing well. The value of your claim and, leaving behind your kids and all that, it may be millions of dollars as far as the value of your insurance claim. But if you don't have insurance or the other person doesn't have insurance, you're out of luck.
That's exactly right.
So when you talk about even young people who are buying homes, people in their 20s and 30s need to be listening up because, number one, the best value in insurance is when you're young.
Absolutely.
Okay, I mean, you can get $1 million worth of insurance, and the monthly payment is surprisingly low.
Absolutely.
Right? And then number two, if you buy whole life, it's like a savings account where you're building money that can help you. If you get short, you can always have something to fall back on, and you don't have to go get permission to borrow money.
It's your money.
It's your money.
It's your money.
Right. So it really is like a savings account, and there's a rate of return. So they pay you interest on
That's
the
right.
money that I look for the internal rate of return on a policy, because sometimes, say we're representing a young person, a minor under 18, we want to buy insurance, a structured settlement, in order to protect their money and have it grow. And now, since interest rates are higher, you can get really good value as far as the rate of return that an insurance company is willing to pay you on your investment, which is called whole life.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And an annuity is similar because it's basically, you're paying a bunch of money up front, and then they take that money and they guarantee a certain amount of income at a future date. A lot of times, if we have kids that are in a crash and they're 5 or 6 or 7 years old, whatever their settlement amount is, they don't get any of it until they're the age of majority, which is 18 years old.
And then do they know what to do with it?
Well, we always structure it so they don't get it. But you know what we do? We'll say, okay, is your kid bright? Yeah, my kid's bright. So your kid may go to college, right? Okay, so when you turn 18, 19, 20, 21, we're going to set it up so either you get an annual payment or a monthly payment to make sure they can get through college, okay?
That's right.
Then when they're 25, maybe they've they've learned a few lessons, so we're going to give them a little more. And then maybe by the time they get 30, right? Maybe 35 sometimes. You really can't stretch it out too much past 35. But they may be married. They may be looking to buy a home. They may be, I can't tell you how many kids we've helped, and down the road they use that money to get their first home, and they use it to, help
turn it into
them
something good.
Turn it into something good, and we structure it so that they don't blow it all early. Because as we all know, when we were 18,
Not me.
a pile of cash was
gone.
It was fun.
That's right.
but not wise.
That's exactly right.
And so getting back to different kinds of insurance. If someone has a small business or a medium-sized or large business, what are some of the insurance needs that you help folks with?
Well, one of the most important ones, especially like you said, for small to medium companies, is what's called a buy-sell agreement. So say you have a partner, or it could be 3 or 4 people, but just say you just have 2, and say they're running a construction company. And in case something happened to one of them, well, then the spouse usually comes in and has a controlling interest in the company. The spouse may know absolutely nothing about this company. So you set up the buy-sell agreement, and you figure, okay, well, we're worth $4 million. So you can do $2 million on one partner, $2 million on the other. And that way, in the fortunate circumstance that something happens, then the insurance policy would then pay the other partner, and then that partner would pay off the family. So then now the partner can run the business unhampered, because not everybody knows about construction.
Correct. And the fact is, 2 people may get along great, but as soon as you have a new partner in, it may not work that well.
That's exactly right. 100%.
And my son and I own Meldon Law, and we have a buy-sell agreement, and we have insurance, and we have all kinds of things just like you're talking about. So I can talk from personal experience that, and you don't have to be huge. Chris is talking about a $4 million company. If you have a $500,000 company and half of it's 50-50 and half's $250,000, most people don't have $250,000 sitting in their savings account to buy out the other partner.
That's exactly right.
So you do it with insurance. I would say, most companies, it's really a factor of you need to have certain people in order for that business to perform well. As soon as in a partnership, if you have one of the 2 people die, it changes the whole dynamics. And maybe the surviving partner can do a fine job on his own by hiring really good people to support the loss of his partner.
Absolutely.
Then the question is, well, how is he going to do that if he doesn't have the money available to pay the spouse who survived, or the family, or whoever the heirs are? The estate owns whatever the person who died owns. So it generally goes into the state. Now with insurance, it is different. You can designate, now key man insurance is maybe a little different, but when you're talking about term insurance, whole life insurance for individuals, one of the nice things is it goes directly to the surviving spouse.
Absolutely.
Right,
So-
or kids or whatever.
That's right.
And you don't have to wait 2 years to go through probate. And you don't
Exactly.
and really, when do you need the money the most, right? The stream of income is stopped.
That's exactly.
That person's not working. Plumbers now, they make 100, 200 grand a year sometimes, which sounds crazy, but,
Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. You know that. And, when you need a plumber,
Yeah.
you need a plumber.
That's
And when
right.
you need an electrician, you need an electrician. And the people that are skilled in the trades, they may have a small company and have 2 or 3 or 4 employees. And they're doing great now, particularly in the last 8 or 10 years when everybody was building like crazy, right? So what happens if that stream of income, you were talking about it earlier, a young couple, they have enough money to buy a nice new home, and they have the stream of income to justify it, and the bank loans them the money, and they've got collateral, and the house is worth it. And yeah, you die, you could sell the house and pay off the mortgage, but
Then you're without a house.
you're without a house. If you got kids, your kids are being uprooted from what their normal routine is. They got to move to, a different part of town where they may not want to be. They got to change schools. The surviving spouse is sitting there going like, we needed 2 incomes, which is common nowadays. We needed
Absolutely.
2 incomes to survive, and now we lost one. So really connecting with what I call skilled insurance professionals is something really important. So I'm sitting here today talking with Chris Dekle, who's a licensed insurance agent with Florida Farm Bureau in Lake City. How do folks get a hold of you, Chris, if they want to talk about their needs?
Well, the easiest way is to call our office, area code 386-752-4003.
I love it. I
And
love
just
it.
ask for Chris.
Yeah. Is there a website or anything?
There's the FloridaFarmBureau.com.
Okay. And I can tell you, we deal with a lot of insurance companies, and Florida Farm Bureau is first class. There's a few others that I could name as well, but they're generally not the ones you see on TV.
There you go.
Okay. And the reason is that the ones that you see on TV are kind of oriented towards people who don't know what they're doing buying insurance from them. I'm not including everybody on TV. I'm just saying
There are some.
There are some, okay? And that the fact is, in the state of Florida, and this is something a lot of people don't know, when it comes to auto insurance, we're the worst state in the United States when it comes to auto insurance. Why? There's no requirement for the other person who is at fault to have what's called bodily injury liability insurance. That's the insurance that pays you for all your out-of-pocket expenses, both past and future, in the event that someone else makes a bonehead move and runs into you. You cannot count on the other person having any bodily injury liability insurance, and they're still driving legally because
That's
the
correct.
state of Florida is centuries behind the rest of the country as far as what the requirements are for insurance. And I think in part it's, the insurance lobby for the big insurance companies you see on TV all the time. I think when I see a Florida Farm insurance on a crash report, I know there's bodily injury liability, and there's probably uninsured motorists as well.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, you don't write these, bare minimum policies just to get on the road, and, it's like what people don't understand is that the worst investment you can make is to buy the minimum required insurance. And what I have found looking at insurance policies for the last 50 years or more is they charge outrageous amounts for basic coverage.
They certainly can.
They can. I mean, I don't know if you've seen any of the rates that people pay, but I mean, for basic insurance, $10,000 coverage for personal injury protection, which is sometimes only $2,500 unless you have a permanent medical condition, or $10,000. So here's another dirty secret of the insurance in Florida. The current insurance limits of $10,000 for personal injury protection and $10,000 for property damage for the other person's vehicle were those limits, and that law was passed in 1973. Since 1973, the value of the dollar, has I would say the value of a dollar then is probably 6 or 7 times what it is now. And you still have $10,000 in property damage. Who has a car, a new car, or a fairly new car that's worth less than $10,000?
Doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist.
Maybe a go-kart.
Maybe a go-kart. So someone else hits you and you go, oh, well, I wasn't injured. All I need is the other person to pay for my car damage. Well, and you get the estimate back, and it's $26,500, and the person has $10,000, which is legally allowed in Florida.
That is correct.
That means you're out of pocket $16,500. Well, Chris can tell you what you can do to protect yourself. What do you need?
You need more coverage.
You need more coverage. And it's something called collision and comprehensive, because collision insurance is, or if you know what, a deer runs out in front of you and your car rolls over and it's totaled and it's worth $50,000 or $60,000. Okay, you better have collision or comprehensive insurance.
100%. Or it's going to be on you.
It's on you.
That's right.
Now if you have a bank loan, the bank knows that, and they make you have it.
Yes,
right?
they do.
They will make you have it. But some people think they're, oh, I don't want a bank loan. I want to own it free and clear. And they get it free and clear, and then they go, oh, well, now I don't need insurance because the bank is making me get insurance.
Yes, they do.
So these are the kinds of things that Chris Dekle and myself see every day. In fact, I wrote a book. I brought it here, and I reviewed it before the show with Chris. It's called Buying Florida Auto Insurance, a 3-step approach to purchasing adequate auto insurance at competitive pricing. And the 3 steps are easy. You can get this book. It's very thin. You can see it. It's like real. And to make sure you don't have homework, I condensed everything onto one page, right? What my recommendation. We went through it before the show.
It's going to be on my desk if anybody wants to come see it.
Yeah. Well, I wrote this actually for consumers and for insurance agents to give to their customers, because I recommend, number one, getting my consumer guide so you know the basic terms. So when you go see Chris, at least you know, okay, what does bodily injury liability mean? What does comprehensive mean? What does collision mean? What does PIP mean? What does uninsured motorist coverage mean? Those are basic terms. And I write it really, really easy. So if you want to spend 20 minutes, you'll become more informed about how to protect yourself and your family, because your auto insurance covers you, your spouse, your children, and any resident relative living within your home. Sometimes it even extends out beyond that. You have a child that's going to college and they're in a different city. I think it's up to the age of 25 on most policies. You're still covered under your family's insurance policy. So there's huge benefits in getting good insurance and investing in it. What I recommend after you read my book is to find a trained insurance professional in your community, not a 1-800 number, not a computer. Don't go to the computer, and you can go to the computer and go to meldonlaw.com, and at the very top of our homepage you can download this book free in a PDF or a Word document, and you can read it in 20-25 minutes, and on one page you can go to your local insurance agent, which is step 2. Go to your local insurance agent. Most of these guys, they've been doing it for years and years and years. When you walk in the office, you're talking to a trained insurance professional. They know what to do. So you walk in, you can give them our book, ask them what they would recommend, and they're going to ask you questions. What do you own? What's your income? What is what do you look at? What are you looking at as far as the future? What your needs are. So this is very important. If you go online, I don't think they're going to talk about uninsured motorist coverage. They're not going to talk about stacking uninsured motorist coverage, all these different ways to get value, extra value, from your company. So what I recommend is searching out for one of the local insurance agents with a major reputable company like Florida Farm Bureau and Chris Dekle, and they'll sit down and they'll go over it with you, and they'll explain, this is what we would recommend, and then they'll say, and this is what it would cost. And then you go, I'm not sure if I can afford that or not. And then you go, okay, well, if you got this much coverage, it would cost you less. However, you're giving up the value of your insurance policy.
Absolutely.
Right? It's like, it's always kind of a guess. But when it comes to auto insurance, you cannot predict when you're going to be in a serious crash that's going to turn your life upside down.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And like we discussed earlier, that 1-800 number.
Yeah.
When you call them, who are you getting? When you've got me, you've got me.
Right. You got Jane or John, who started work 6 months ago and is kind of learning how to sell. And what
They have no license.
They had no and you know what they're trying to sell? They're trying to close the deal, which means they strip your policy of any value just because all you're doing is tell me what's the cheapest policy I can get.
Absolutely.
And
We
so-
get that a lot.
Yeah, you hear it a lot, and I'm sure when people come in your office, business people, I went online, I got this policy, and I'm not going to mention the companies because some of them, look, the companies on TV have a higher line of product that you can get. However, most of the people that call or go online are shopping price only without really understanding what they're doing.
That's exactly right.
If you're not an insurance professional, right, how do you know what's value? What really, I can tell you as a longtime personal injury attorney what you need, and what you need is more than what you think you need.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yep. It's better to have it not need it than to need it not have it.
Correct. And I have a lot of clients who the first time around they were in a crash. I've been doing this a long time, so I have a lot of repeat customers. Right? So our clients will come in the first time they come in, and they basically got screwed because the other person hit them. The other person was at fault. They didn't do anything wrong, and they have to pay for all their medical bills, their property damage. They have to, maybe miss work and lose income, and sometimes it's even worse where they can't go back to work. Well, when I finish with those folks in their case, I always pull out my book and say, now listen, this is what you had before. This is what you need. Now you have some money because we got a really good settlement for you. Or we didn't get a really good settlement because there wasn't enough insurance.
There you go.
And that's when I give them the talk, and I can't tell you how many people after a second accident, they'll come back and they say, Jeffrey, I did what you told me to do, and I got insurance. I said, well, thank God. Now maybe we can get you a decent, fair result. And that's all we're looking for. I mean, but if you have a serious accident and it's worth $100,000 or $200,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, we got a verdict for $4.5 million, right? So, what's the likelihood of the other person having more than $10,000? In the state of Florida, it's less than 1 out of 2. Less than 50% of the time are you going to have more than $10,000 of a BI policy, a bodily injury liability policy.
Yes, sir. I mean, that's just absolutely fact. I mean, people, like you said, they price shop. It's not what they need, and sometimes they don't even ask, But you're 100% correct.
Yeah. So, again, I'm preaching to the choir here with Chris, but our list, we try to give really good advice on Meldon Law and Friends, and we try to steer you in the right direction and try to get you to be thoughtful about insurance. I know insurance, you know insurance. Most people out there, their best bet is to go to their local insurance agent, whether it's life or for your home, your property insurance for your home, your car insurance, your health insurance. Go talk to your neighbor who's running a successful insurance company right around the corner from you. And then if you have a problem, you call Chris. Say, Chris, this happened or that happened. I was in a bad crash, and they will, I promise you, make it so much easier. They'll walk you through, and they'll make sure you get a fair shake from their company. I don't know if you've had to deal with that, because Farm Bureau is really good, but a lot of times our local agent will call and say, look, these are good folks, and you need to treat them right and don't lowball them.
Absolutely. I had a guy as one of my clients, and basically he's kind of a southeast. He covers the southeast doing claims and adjustments, but he comes to Farm Bureau for his insurance. And he was sitting in the office. He goes, "You know why I come here?" And I said, "Well, no, I guess you're fixing to tell me." And he goes, he said, "Because this company is the only insurance company that I know that tries to find a way to pay." Mm-hmm. He said most of them try to find a way to get out of paying, but not Farm Bureau.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, and he's got a lot of experience with a lot of different companies, so it's good to know.
Yeah, and I guess it starts with the origins of the company. It was started by farmers for farmers. It's certainly changed now. Believe me, you do not need to be a farmer to call Chris Dekle.
This is true, but y'all are welcome to call.
But if you are a farmer, you really should call them, because
Absolutely.
they're and up here in north central Florida, going in Lake City and Live Oak and Hamilton County and stuff, there's a lot of people. They may be farmers, or they just may be working hard, making a living, and it's unfair. It really aggravates me when I see somebody whose life's been turned upside down because they didn't talk to a trained insurance professional. And the other secret is that the companies that are advertising heavily on TV, a lot of times they charge you as much or more than going to a quality company. And people go, oh, if I go online, I'm going to save money,
Yeah, well, try to, you might, even if you do save money, if you need them and you actually have a claim, good luck with that.
Right. So we're going through a lot today, but it's all very, very important.
Absolutely.
So once again, tell the folks how to get a hold of you.
Chris Dekle at the Columbia County Farm Bureau. Our number is 386-752-4003.
And it doesn't matter if you're big or small,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, you're in the state of Florida. You need some kind of insurance just to get on the road. You might as well get value. And if all you have is a little bit of money, they can help you. And then as you get more and more money, you want to have your insurance reviewed periodically, right?
Absolutely. I mean, we suggest at least every 3 to 4 years.
Yeah, and hopefully even more often. When people start out buying insurance, they might buy a lower coverage just because they don't have the money to buy what they really need. And then as they grow, they should work into having adequate coverage because you got more at stake. Now all of a sudden, you got you're married and you got a family and you got a house and you got a business and you got all this stuff going on. So I can tell you that my insurance agents I've been with 30 years, and they do an excellent job. But when I have something, I got a human being that I know that, they come over to my office sometimes just to, talk to me about, let's review what you got. Also they'll price it out and see what, what the best options are and stuff. I can't stress enough the need to, number one, read my book. Number two, called Chris Dekle.
There you go.
And Florida Farm Bureau, I can tell you from personal experience, first class operation, no doubt about it. And he will get you in the right direction. So I want to thank you very much for coming on the show today.
Thank you so much.
This
Good to
was
be here.
wonderful, man.
Yes, sir.
It was great. That's going to be a wrap for Meldon Law and Friends, and we'll see you next week, and thank you for viewing and listening.